Welcome to my next Big Bang Theory Season 12 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you are caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching the Big Bang Theory, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be the Big Bang Theory Season 12, Episode 14. The title of this episode is called The Meteorite Manifestation. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. Howard and Bernadette prepare to use their hot tub when their new neighbor's floodlights come on, blinding them. Bernadette is reluctant to change in front of the lights. The balcony overlooks their fence, and their neighbor's only suggestion is to plant some trees. Also, the lights are operated by motion sensors, so they have to be still for them to shut off. And Bernadette wonders how Howard is going to make motionless love to her. Leonard is showing Sheldon, Howard, and Raj his new laser. Howard is having a problem with his neighbors, while Sheldon still has his Nobel Prize submission problem. Bert comes in and asks Raj, as an astrophysicist, to look at a meteorite with him. Leonard wants to cut it open with his new laser, but Bert declines. Both Raj and Howard leave to check out the meteor out. And Leonard doesn't care because he still has his really cool new laser. Howard and Bernadette go to the city zoning office, or the zone to see what they can do about their neighbors. The clerk tells them that they can check and see if their neighbors had a permit. The Wallowitz need to go to the Office of Code Compliance and fill out a form for an insurance or nuisance, I should say, and encroachment. There is a different form for each of them. Leonard is going through a rack of comic books and suddenly sneezes. Stewart tells him that he just bought a rack of Batman comic books. Leonard says that this is just his allergies. Stewart offers him something from his large collection of medicines. Raj comes in and describes his unique signature they found in Bert's meteorite. Leonard again offers to use his laser to cut it open, and the meteorite, which really bothers Stewart, he asks them if they haven't learned anything from reading all the comic books he sells. Space viruses, pod people. Raj thinks that Stewart is being a bit crazy. Denise retorts that Stewart is the only one making any sense. Raj jokes that it's nice that Stewart and Denise have found each other. Raj then turns down Leonard's offer again. Howard complains that a day at the zoning office solved nothing. Sheldon gets excited that they could spend the day there, and then Bernadette asks him to help them out. Leonard tells everyone that Raj is working on his stupid meteorite as he sneezes, saying that he is feeling run down. Sheldon looks tiffed and then marches Amy, Howard, and Bernadette into his apartment, making sure they all use Perel before entering. A sick Leonard can't stop complaining about the guys not using his new laser. Penny suggests that Leonard is just being jealous. Also, she offers to get him some medicine, but Stewart already gave him some at the comic book store. Penny wonders that Stewart really needs all of his medicine. Penny offers to sleep on the couch, but Leonard says that he'll take the couch. Penny quickly accepts the idea, calling him a snotbag, and then runs off to their bedroom. Sheldon and Amy inspect the Wallowitz's backyard, and Sheldon thinks that their neighbors are exhibiting classic encroachment. When the floodlights snap on, Sheldon says that the brightness must be at least 10,000 lumens. Howard quips that when you have lumens, you should have luminade. Sheldon asks if that is a joke, and then Sheldon finds out that Howard didn't have a permit to build their outdoor deck, which worries Sheldon. Howard also didn't get a permit for their bathroom improvements. Sheldon is horrified because he's used the bathroom before. Driving home, Sheldon is disgusted that he doesn't really know his friends and that they are rule breakers. Poor Amy is about to drive into oncoming traffic because Sheldon is complaining to his wife so much. Of course, of course, that would also break the rules. Sheldon wants to get his friends back on the side of Johnny Law. Amy is appalled since Howard would have to tear out all of their improvements, and it would probably end their friendship. Sheldon retorts that only animals build decks without permits. Amy replies that animals don't have decks. Hasn't Amy heard of beavers and their dams? Leonard goes into the geology lab and sees the fancy water cooled saw. He tries to take the meteorite, but it's too heavy, so he rolls it out on the chair. At the city zoning office, Sheldon finds the clerk's zone joke funny. Sheldon wants to know if he should turn a code violation in. He philosophically debates the clerk on whether he should turn in the lawbreakers. The clerk doesn't tell Sheldon to turn him in. As Leonard is about to cut into the meteorite, Raj and Bert run in, wanting to know what he is doing. He cuts it open and they find a glowing purple light emitting from it. Raj finds the rock pretty. Leonard approaches it and gets zapped. His eyes start to glow purple. He gets ravishingly hungry and attacks Raj and Bert, taking a bite out of them. Leonard finds himself waking up on the couch, and Penny tells him that he's having a bad dream. As Penny checks his temperature, Leonard's eyes start to glow purple again, and he attacks Penny. Her scream wakes him up as she comes running down the hallway. Leonard asks what color his eyes are, and Penny can't decide between green and brown. At least he is finally awake. Sheldon comes to talk to Howard and Bernadette. He had thought of turning them in, but he decided that the unwritten rules of friendship overrides the city zoning office regulations. He also looked into their neighbor's balcony and found out that it didn't encroach their property line. He said so much pent-up energy that he turned in their neighbors in. Leonard visits the geology lab and apologizes to Bert and Raj since he was jealous. Bert calls his cutting device Terry Bradshaw. Leonard explains about his dream, and Bert thinks it's nice that Leonard attacked him first. Howard and Bernadette are having wine, watching the neighbor tear out the balcony. Their neighbors apologize for the noise, and then they wonder who Sheldon Cooper is who filed the complaint. Sheldon Cooper? The Wallaces have never heard of him. There have been no customers at all afternoon, and Stuart and Denise haven't seen anyone out on the street. Maybe cutting open the meteorite unleashed a space plague. Stuart locks the door as he and Denise wonder if they are the last couple on Earth. Do either of them have special skills to rebuild civilization? Stuart draws, and Denise can play the clarinet. Denise agrees that they'll have to start repopulating the planet. She is fine with doing that and runs off to brush her teeth. Sheldon shows up and Stuart tells him that they are closed. He runs off after Denise. Sheldon is going to complain on Yelp, and that's what ends this episode of The Big Bang Theory. So I'm going to give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Character of the episode is going to be Sheldon, and then as many of you know, I rate Penny because Penny is the reason why I watched The Big Bang Theory initially, and one of the reasons why I continue watching it. I'll give her a 7.0 out of 10. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of The Big Bang Theory. What would you rate it? Who would you choose as the character of the episode? And if you want to rate Penny, like I do, you can go ahead and do that as well. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.